Nada, perdonad por las cosas del directo. Voy a intentar compartir pantalla, a ver si funciona esto bien. No sé si lo veis ahora. Vale. Confirmadme, por favor, si lo veis, la presentación. Y Juan José, no sé si me puedes ir comentando lo que ponéis en el chat porque ahora mismo no tengo visibilidad. Bueno, Juanjo igual no me oye, ¿no? Vale, ¿os podéis alguien unmute para comentar si se ve, porfa?
Hola, yo sí lo veo.
Vale, venga, perfecto. Perfecto, chicos. Pues venga, vamos a ello. Me parece, si no me equivoco, que tenemos unos 45 minutos. Dejaré unos cuantos minutos al final porque sé que tenéis preguntas. Me han comentado que lo haga en inglés, entonces, if you don't mind, I'm going to change into English. But of course, if at the end you have any clarifying questions in Spanish because I didn't explain myself correctly, whatever, you tell me. All right, so let's move into the presentation. I've divided it into two parts. The first one is going to be what is Amazon Vendor Services and what does a brand specialist work on. And I will go into the more details on brand specialist role, which is the role that I have. And then I will go into the more interesting part for you, which is the recruiting process and the interview process, which I will say that you will have a lot of questions in there. Let me talk to you about my career journey a little bit. So I am an engineer. I studied here in Madrid at UPM, and then I moved into a business school in Paris to do a master in management. And I had the chance to do several internships, one of them being at Philips, which is actually the brand that I'm managing right now within Amazon. I also have 2 years of experience within BCG in the consumer sector because I'm very passionate about customer products and all the consumer sector. So I decided to specialize a little bit more within BCG. And then I decided to move into Amazon. I think that Amazon really provides a lot of opportunities, not only within the brand specialist role that I will show you in a bit, but also throughout your whole career, you can move to so many different roles after that, and you're never going to get bored, let's say. Let me tell you a little bit more about my day-to-day life at Amazon. So I am in a team. Whenever you start at Amazon, you are assigned to a specific team that is basically a family of products. So within consumables, which is one of the verticals, we do have baby products, beer, wines, and spirits. So basically the beers that you might be buying at Amazon is because someone from products such as personal care appliances, which is what I manage, related to grooming, to toothbrushes, and there are also another bunch of products, of product families that we have at Amazon. In my case, I have been assigned to the personal care appliances one. As I said, I did an internship at Philips back in the days, and now I am managing their products. So actually some of the products that I did create from scratch during my internship, I am selling them now. So it's pretty interesting on that side. And I do not only manage these kind of products, but also some medical products, and I am in charge of other projects that I will tell you in a bit. We have certain challenges now on a daily basis as brand specialists. As you may know, we are all suffering from the supply chain that is constrained due to COVID, due to the different problems that we had at Suez Canal, and also due to the lack of components such as chips. So this is not only affecting cars and Teslas and so on and so forth, but also some products at Amazon. Another super cool thing about my daily life is that I'm in contact with European customers. So I manage one of the brands at European level, actually at EU8 level, including the new marketplaces in which Amazon has recently launched their website, which is Amazon Netherlands, Poland, and Sweden. So it's very interesting to kind of understand what are the different customer trends, which products are working better in one marketplace versus the other, and grasping how the customer will react to a certain price and buy 1,000 of units at a certain price point is very, very challenging and very interesting at the same time. Not only do I do that, but I also manage some projects. So whenever you advance within your brand specialist career, you will be assigned more responsibility, which is something that also attracted me a lot about this position, because manage the same thing or do the same thing for several months, several years, as I said, you don't get bored here at Amazon. So you are given projects, which is actually a very cool moment, because you are able to think at the time about how can I solve a problem. You really think outside of the box in those kind of projects. So currently I am in charge of one of the projects related to supply chain. I am also in charge of recruiting. And I also manage the expansion of the medical category at European level. Also, I'm in contact with what they are doing in US and what they are doing in other marketplaces, let's say in the East. I'm part of an amazing team. I'll show you in a second more photos about it. But as I said, you really establish a lot of bonds within the team that you are assigned to, but not only within your team, but at around ITES level. So my team is based in ITES. We collaborate together very closely with the Italian team, and we have gotten to know each other very well. Telling more about the team, it's a very young and diverse team. And probably you might be thinking, okay, I do start, but everything will be super new. What do I do? Who can I contact? So you are assigned, when you start, you're assigned a buddy and a mentor. So you have two figures to which you can go with questions if needed. And then you also collaborate closely with other teams and other stakeholders. So, for example, you work a lot with supply chain, with vendor managers, people from marketing, people from advertising. So it's not only that you are a specialist, but you touch on different parts of the business, which is, I think, very specific to this role at Amazon. And I think that maybe this is an offer that is not available within other companies, because you really touch on the different sides of the business. As I said, we have as well pan-EU ownership. So we do have tasks to be done at pan-EU level, meaning that you are then working with a lot of stakeholders that are not only based in Spain or in Italy, but recently I had a meeting with a manager from the UK. Next week I'm having one meeting with someone from Germany. So it's really a pan-EU based role. And the vendors are becoming more and more pan-EU, meaning that probably one brand is managed at pan-EU level for the whole 7 or 8 marketplaces. Also in line with the buddy and the mentor, you may think, okay, I do start, but I know nothing about the role, so I need to, ramp up. How do I do that? So we have a set of boot camps, functional trainings, and soft skill trainings that we give during the first 6 months specifically on a very recurrent basis. And then we have several trainings that we do more on a 6-month basis, once or twice a year. To keep ramping up and upskilling your capabilities. I am in charge of one of these boot camps and one of the trainings, so I have to say that we really push a lot to have the best trainings possible. We get the feedback implemented into the new presentations, and we really hear what the new brand specialists have to say, what they not learn, in order to be more have more clarity for the following trainings. So you will be very well prepared after those trainings, I have to say. We also have career development sessions. As I said, the world of Amazon is so big that you can move into whichever position that you want after that. Just to put you an example, I have a colleague who recently left the team after being promoted, and he joined Amazon Music as the podcast manager in Italy, which I think is a super cool position. And then there was also another colleague of mine that joined the Alexa team to help on the functionalities that we will have at a Spain level. So also very cool position to move after your brand specialist career. And again, possibilities are endless. And one of our mottos is to work hard and have fun and make history. So you may see the photos there. We are having dinner or lunch with the team. Then the second one is an offsite that we recently had in March. And the last photo is actually from yesterday night, where we were celebrating that one of our team leads is leaving the team because she's about to have a baby. So we have quite some gathers with the team on a weekly and monthly basis. Moving forward into what does Amazon vendor service mean? What would be your role as brand specialist? Side note is that I'm also a brand specialist myself. I have been in the role for about 1.5 years. And yeah, I know what I'm talking about because I am a brand specialist myself. So the Amazon vendor service is a very privileged, customized, tailored service that we give to certain vendors. So not every vendor has access to it. It's a very specific program, and the vendors do have to pay a fee to join the program, and they are assigned the brand specialist for between 1 year, 6 months, 1 year. In my case, for example, I have been assigned to the same vendors during these 1.5 years, but I have other colleagues who have been assigned to several vendors already. The brand specialist, I like to call it as the strategic consultant position for the vendor. So you focus really on the strategic task, while the operational tasks are, let's say, offshored to specialist teams that can help the vendor. And the whole idea is to support the vendor into growing sustainably within Amazon. So as I said, I like to call ourselves the strategic consultants for the vendors, understanding what are the market trends, how can we make the vendor grow, how can we make the vendor gain some more share in a certain category, and to also offset and overcome what are the challenges that we see in the market. And also, I mentioned before the out of stock issues that we are having at European level and at worldwide level. Each brand specialist more or less manages between 3 and 5 vendors, as I said before, depending on the scope that you have. So if you're managing a pan-EU vendor, then you will have less vendors to manage because you are already managing a vendor in several countries. And the vendors are not only supported by us, we are the pillar of their business, but also they do have some self-service tools available within a specific platform that they have access to in order for us to focus on these strategic tasks. I am going to explain overall what does a brand specialist do, and then in the next slide, I'm going to go more into detail. So we focus on basically 5 things, and it's a value added circle that has the pillars between selection and traffic. Let me explain you why. Whenever you type something on the Amazon search bar, if you don't find it, it's because the selection is not available, right? So if it's not available, we cannot buy it as customers. But also if it's not findable because the product does not have the right keywords or is not listed correctly, then if it's not findable, we as customers can neither sell it or find it. We also focus on the availability and operational excellence, because whenever we try to find a product, if we have it out of stock or if it's going to be sent in 1 or 2 weeks, then it's very difficult and frustrating for the customer as well not to have it available. And then we also focus in conversion, right? So when you have two products that are very similar, probably you will see the ratings and reviews, the image, the bullet points that each product has in order to convert yourself into one product or the other. And finally, the business advice, that is kind of the umbrella that involves all these parts that I've just mentioned. And this is the business advice where our business sense and our analysis come into place. So to sum it up, it's a very customized support for a top-tiered level of service vendors, only to help them grow with Amazon and really unlock their full potential, working towards the targets that we have set at the beginning of the year. Moving into a more specific explanation of what do we do. So going into the selection part, you need to work with the vendor on getting the catalog listed to try to monitor what is the selection parity that the vendor has with other sales channels, and ensure that the relevant selection is offered at Amazon. I remember one case where I spotted that another retailer did have a certain product that was, in my opinion, was very interesting for us, and we did not have that kind of product in our catalog. So I went to the vendor and I said, hey, we need to have this product listed. And last year it was one of the top selling products that we had in our catalog. And lastly, another cool thing is to manage the new product launches. So many of you, especially the female population, will know GHD, Good Hair Day, which is a luxury brand for hair care products. They tend to launch very nice products on a yearly basis. So whenever these kind of products are being launched, there is a lot of work behind it. And it's very cool to be able to access the information on the product earlier on and to get to work with maybe celebrities in order to launch the product. Another part is the traffic. So you are probably going to be making several analyses on how is traffic going with the amazing tools that we have at Amazon. And you will be brainstorming about how to increase your visibility, what are the traffic channels that are working better for you, so you can advise the vendor on where to invest in order to attract more customers into that traffic channel. And as I said as well, to identify opportunities and support for participation in cross-site events. Specifically, traffic is very important in peak moments. I'm pretty sure that you have heard about Prime Day, and also as well, I guess that you have bought a lot on Black Friday. So these days are very important for us, and therefore our job as brand specialists is also on brainstorming on how to get the best traffic out of it. And moving into the availability and operational efficiency, as I said, we need to ensure that our products are available. We need to work on managing those new releases, ensure that the product comes in stock on time. Also, for the promotions that we do on a weekly basis, we need to ensure that we have the right amount of stock. As I was saying, for example, for Prime Day right now, we are preparing all the ordering. So it's very interesting to see, okay, last year I sold, for example, 2,000 units of this product. So I would expect that this year I'm going to sell more or less the same units or even a little bit more. And therefore you need to work with the vendor and with the in-stock team in ensuring that you have all this stock, right? Because I'm pretty sure that when you have seen a product during a promotion, you wouldn't like it to be out of stock. Analyze also any cost reduction opportunities. So at Amazon, we have a bunch of initiatives that are related to supporting the vendors into reducing their costs, and also deep diving on availability and the creation of an action plan. As I said, this is all related to the strategic side of it. So how are you going to help your vendor into growing sustainably, into having the right stock on time, etc. Finally, one of the parts that I really like is the conversion. So we are the most customer-centric company in the world, and we are always thinking about what would the customer think. And we put ourselves in the shoes of the customer every time that we go into the Amazon website, and we try to improve the Amazon customer experience in every promotion that we put, every product that we list, and everything is related to the customer. We also support the planning of the annual promotions calendar, and this is something that you do at the beginning of the year, which is a very important analysis to make, and is part of the strategy that you're going to follow with the vendor. And finally, you're going to be looking at the customer ratings and reviews. Pretty sure that whenever you have bought a product, you have looked into the star rating, and you have maybe gone into the section of the reviews in order to see what are other customers thinking about that product. Overall, this is englobed into the business advice part. So we benefit from different best practices to reach the full potential of the vendor. These best practices can be developed by yourself, and you can take it as well from other vendors and other groups of product families. So in summary, the Amazon Vendor Services provides support during each of those stages, and the brand specialist is the pillar of it, the strategic consultant for it, and you optimize the performance to drive additional sales and, as said, unlock the full potential of the vendor. Now, moving into the interesting part for you guys, which is the recruiting process. Now, I think that I have convinced you already that you need to join Amazon. No, but jokes aside, the job is very interesting. As I said, I've been in the job for 1.5 years myself, and every day is kind of different. I never get bored. You are given a lot of responsibility every day, and it really, when you take a look back and you see how many things you have achieved and the great results that you can get, it's really a good place to start. So the recruiting process. Let's start with the basics. In order to start the application, you need to go into amazon.jobs and find the right job position for yourself. I will share in a second the positions that we have available at the moment, because I think that there are 4 positions, even though we have more listed. But I think that for the kind of profile that we have here, the 4 positions that I will share later will be the most interesting ones. So you go into Amazon Jobs, you apply, you upload your CV, all these kind of things. Then you do the online analytical test, which is not difficult. Don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure that at your uni you have been able to be prepared to this kind of test, and you have maybe done yourself several tests at home with different online or resources that are available. Also, then when you finish the online test, when you pass it, then you go into the CV screening process directly. And if you pass, then we will call you for an online interview. This online interview will be based on the leadership principles that I will share in a second. We will have around 2 or 3 questions related to these leadership principles, and I will give you a few tips on how to approach these kind of questions. We will also have a business case that is usually Excel based. Again, it's not super difficult. Do not worry about it. Typical formulas that you have used already in uni, or you can type on Google basic formulas on Excel. So sum if, very easy and basic question. And then once you have finished those 2 or 3 interviews, then the interviewers will meet. They will have a debrief, and they will talk about your case, your question, your answers, and then they will give you the positive or negative feedback in case you do not pass the loop. So moving into what are the leadership principles, I really encourage you to go into the website and find the Amazon leadership principles. The main one, as I said before, is the customer obsession, because we are the most customer-centric company in the world. But we have another bunch of leadership principles in which we base all our work. So whenever I'm doing something, I think, okay, I'm trying to have bias for action, or I'm trying to have frugality. So we really use these leadership principles to base all our work on. I would really encourage you, as I said, to go into the website and look for these principles at Amazon, and and read what do they mean and what do they refer to. Hints and tips. This is the part that I most like, because I've been a person that interviews at Amazon myself, and I'm also now an interviewer, so I know both sides of it. And I'm going to try to give you the best tips that I can. The first one would be to use a STAR method. Probably you have already heard about this method, and if not, I would encourage you to use it in every interview that you have. The STAR method is basically you explain the situation that you were in, what was the task that you were assigned to, what are the actions that you took in order to solve that task, and what were the results. So very structured approach to answer a question. The second tip would be to be prepared to speak about the motivation that you have of joining Amazon and your understanding about the role. I have to say that right now you have a little bit more advantage versus other people that have applied to the job, because I have just explained to you what is the role about. And also the third tip, and this is, I guess, the most important one, is to include data and numbers in your answers when possible or relevant. So I've had cases where candidates were super strong, but they did not mention any data, any numbers specifically in the results part. No, so I don't know, I got 9 out of 10 grade. I was top 2% in this project in class, or whichever number might come to your mind of the examples that you want to put. If it's relevant only, and if it's possible, of course, because we understand that there are several examples in which there are no relevant numbers. But whenever possible, try to pick up an example that is related to something that has data on it. Prepare a few examples for each leadership principle. There are a lot of leadership principles. We have to acknowledge that. So I would go for an 80-20 approach and select the ones that would probably apply to your role, which would be, let's say, on the first 5, the first 4, the first 2, the last 3. So several ones that can make sense for you guys to apply when you apply to the brand specialist role. In here, my second tip would be to just pick up 3 or 4 examples that you have from your life. Specifically, I guess that you at uni would have a lot of examples, and also if you have done some internships, that would be great to hear those experiences from you. So try to pick up 3 or 4 examples that would have data on them, and basically get more details about it. Try to think, okay, if I were to explain this example, what would be the STAR method? Always think that every example may be used for different leadership principles, depending on how we approach the example. I'll always prepare some questions to ask to your interviewer. And in this case, I think that the interviewers really appreciate when you have an interesting question, and also something that would really serve you to define, okay, this is the kind of culture that I feel more linked to, or what do you do on your daily life, so that you get another perspective, not only from what you have heard from me today. One of the last tips would be to keep pen and paper handy in case you need to write any question down, or for example, in the business case, even though it's Excel based, you can have a pen and paper next to it, so you can, you know, try to think about how you're going to structure the Excel file. Ask the interviewer as well if they would like more detail. No worries if the interviewer follows up with a lot of questions, because that's our job as interviewers, to try to grasp as many things as possible from your examples. So I guess that these would be my top tips from my experience, both as an interviewee and as an interviewer. Then moving on to the job opportunities, let me tell you what are the key opportunities that we have right now. So I spoke with Anna, which is actually the official recruiter, and she mentioned the following four. If you are applying for an internship, you have the possibility to apply to the business development intern. Then you also have the possibility of the business analyst intern, as well as the finance intern, in case, you know, the finance part ticks more of the boxes than the other two did. And finally, the brand specialist one, that is renamed as business development graduate in your case, because you're just going out of uni. So the right one, the one in which I would suggest you to apply, is the business development graduate one. You have the IDs here in case you want to take a screenshot. And if not, as I said, go into amazon.jobs and search for business development graduate in Madrid, or since we have a little bit of an international population today, try to find the location in which you might be more comfortable in. If you decide to apply, imagine that, for example, I'm a Spanish person and I would like to go into the Munich office, or whichever German office. I would need to speak fluent English, which we can say that you all know how to speak English, and also fluency in the local language. And yeah, time for questions. I cannot see the chat, so if you are not shy, please unmute yourselves and
Okay. Now I'm able to hear you. Yeah, finally.
Hi.
Okay, well, first of all, let's take advantage that Alba is here with us. So let's ask her questions. As you can see, she has a lot of experience, and I'm sure that she will be able to answer anything you need to ask. So let's go with it. Who's first?
Hi. Good morning. My name is Anna. I just wrote in the chat, but I see that you cannot see it. So I just wanted to ask to Alba, in case we're in the middle of the degree, like I'm in second year of marketing, which one of the job opportunities would you recommend?
I would say, and I'm sorry, Anna, but I'm not 100% sure about how does it work at Universidad Europea. But if you have the possibility to apply for an internship and let's say skip one of the semesters, I would really suggest you to apply to the business development intern, which is the previous step into becoming a business development graduate, or in this case, the brand specialist role. So you will be kind of like a brand specialist intern, and then after your 6-month period, you will be offered the full-time position for, let's say, a couple of semesters after you finish your degree, let's say. Yeah, so I think that the minimum, if I'm not mistaken, is 6 months. Let me double check that with Anna.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Just to repeat it, the business development internship would be the right one.
Okay, next question, please. I'm sure all of you got a lot of questions. Let's ask them.
Hello, I'm Antonio.
Hello, Antonio.
Hello. I was wondering, I had more, I don't know, if you could go more into the business case you talk about. You mentioned that it could be done with Excel. Or
Yes.
is it the only way to, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. So whenever you start a business case, you're given the problem, el enunciado, and then you are given a template that you need to fill in. So the template is already structured on the case that you're going to be doing that day, because we have different business cases. And as I said, they require you to provide X amount of numbers. I don't know, amount of stock, for example, or units that you're going to sell on a certain day, something like that. So it's really already structured on what you need to provide to the interviewer. And it's the only way in which you can do it, because there are several formulas that you need to use, and several, yeah.
Well, apart from this, which is a different thing, I've heard, I'm aware that Amazon is working or trying to develop the food section somehow, to introduce like groceries and
The fresh section, sí,
or
correct.
gourmet stuff,
Yeah.
products. Could there be something related with this I mentioned with the business development position?
I think that there are several business cases. I'm not sure about, I mean, I don't know them all, but if you're asking whether they can ask you how to do a go-to-marketing plan for how to launch the fresh sector, the fresh opportunity, it might be the case, but I think it's going to be more analytical. At least the cases that I have done, they are all based in Excel, as I said, using basic formulas on Excel, so nothing much related to a go-to-marketing strategy.
Yes, I'm sorry. I think I didn't explain myself well. What I try to say is that if there are business development positions that I've seen that you are providing,
So,
offering for the groceries and stuff sector.
okay. Sorry. I did not get the question correctly. Yes, so probably there are positions opened. It is true that whenever you do the interview, you can, of course, indicate your preference, and the HR manager will try to take that into account. But as you know, we are growing super fast. We are recruiting a lot. So don't miss out on the opportunity to be part of Amazon right now. But maybe there are other teams that do have more necessity of you rather than the fresh team, right? So maybe the fresh team already has all the positions covered, and you might need to be, for example, in my team. But definitely you can indicate your preference whenever you're talking with the recruiting manager.
Thank you for your advice.
No problem.
Okay, more question, anyone? Or that's all? It's been really interesting, Alba.
Happy that you liked it. Let me know if you have any other questions. I mean, Juan Jose,
yeah, sure.
You guys ask me via email as well,
Yeah.
in case there are any extra questions from the students.
I can see that Madeline is wearing.
Hi. Yes.
Hello,
so
Madeline. How are you?
Hi. I'm very good. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yes. So, Alba, my question was about the type of candidate that you're looking for. I mean, this could be like a subjective question. It, of course, we probably there are many profiles, but what would be the thing, the thing that the ideal candidate has to have?
So I would say that one of the things that struck broke me most when I joined Amazon is that there is really no specific profile. I've
Mhm.
seen people coming from engineering, like myself, people coming from business, even people coming from history studies. So really, it's nothing specific, but just the way in which you think, in which you reason your thoughts and how you explain the problem. No, so as I said, one of the key things that it's really a good tip is to try to think on the numbers. So okay, what was the situation, but what was the result and what were the numbers? What did I achieve? Because at Amazon, we are very number based, no, very analytical in that case. So I don't want to say that the profile that we are looking is analytical, because I have been in a coach myself of people that were coming from different profiles and have not touched too much of Excel in their professional or student life, yet not right now they are one of the best brand specialists, because with the business acumen, the business sense that you develop, your proactiveness, no, I guess that also when you're a student, you need to be very proactive and really willing to learn, no? So that learn and be curious is also very important. So I would say in a nutshell, try to be analytical, but not the smartest guy in the room in regarding to numbers.
Right.
Also have these learn and be curious, proactiveness.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
One last question, maybe?
One last question. Anybody?
If there are no questions, I think it's because I explained myself very well and I
Absolutely.
convinced you to join Amazon.
Yeah.
Please tell me that this is correct.
Absolutely correct.
No, but yeah, overall, I just want to say that I wouldn't be here pitching Amazon if I didn't think that the positions that we have open are very interesting, are a good way to start as a graduate after uni. And I really encourage you to apply. The process is it's not complicated at all. You have been prepared at uni, so take a shot, go for it, go into Amazon.jobs now, glimpse at what are the positions that might be interesting for you. And if you have any extra questions, please just drop the questions to Juan Jose and I will come back to you.
Okay, perfect. Well, first of all, thank you very much, Alba. I would like for everybody to know that this workshop has been recorded, so you will have access to it again next week. And well, this has been one of the first in the career week. It's going to be a long day with a lot of things to do, a lot more workshops. Maybe not as interested as this one, but interesting too. And well, I would like to say thank you to all of you. And well, let's go on with the career week then. Thank you for attending this, everybody.
Thank you for
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good
Have
day.
a nice
Bye.
day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.